Good morning. My name is Brian Pokorny, CEO of DailyBooth. And like John said, I'm going to talk a little bit today about picture talking, or what we like to think of as social communication through photos. I'm going to cover a few things in this talk with the evolution of publishing on the web, how social network photos have changed over time, what 2010 means in terms of real-time mobile photo publishing, and then give you some more examples of what DailyBooth looks like and some of the unique behaviors occurring on the site. So, historically, if you look over time, the important thing to notice about publishing platforms is they all evolve into communication platforms. Look at LiveJournal and Blogger, Twitter, with the ubiquity of SMS evolved, and it started with broadcast that evolved into communication with app replies. And we're seeing the same trends with photo publishing right now. We're in a unique time right now because of the power of the cell phone with the two cameras, both the front and the back, and the broadband networks that allow photos to be shared simply and consumed through social networks in real time. Now, if you think about the evolution of social behaviors as it pertains to a photo on a social network, I like to think about a few analogies. Start with MySpace. MySpace was a photo on a website that was a one-way means of communicating who you were. The photo was typically taken at some event where you looked good, you had your hair done, a nice dress on, or a suit coat, and it was a one-way broadcast. There was very limited interaction on this, and you can think of this almost as your Vegas self. Facebook came along, and the profile picture still existed, but a few other things happened. One is third parties could upload content about you en masse. So your inhibition of having less than flattering content was reduced because your friends, there was social pressure to leave these pictures up. Also, communication started happening as a result of photos being tagged and emails being sent out. A conversation would then occur on the picture page, but it wasn't necessarily a real-time conversation. It was a conversation about the photo from last night. DailyBooth in 2010 is a combination of all these things. Our users now have 300, 400 photos online already. They are now taking they're publishing their own photo through a front-facing camera in real time to spark a conversation. And as you can see, they're publishing all types of goofy photos. It's not so much about like the MySpace picture, but it's more to express how you're feeling, where you are. It's more of communication as opposed to like representation of your best self. It's authentic and real. So everyone knows about the iPhone, the importance of it. But lately we're seeing a huge trend in real-time mobile photo publishing on the web right now through this device. The important thing to note on this is that it has two cameras, which is a trend that's occurring. And given all of the activity in this space, I want to take a moment to define how we're looking at these apps. So I'm going to call them back-of-the-phone apps. And these are things like Instagram, Pics Please, TwitPic, and Path. And then you have front-of-the-phone apps, DailyBooth. The front-facing camera on the iPhone was created for applications like DailyBooth. The difference between these apps are who's using them. The back-of-the-phone apps are much more like social point-and-shoot cameras. They're a way to share what you're looking at and express what you see with your friends in real time. DailyBooth is about expressing who you are, where you are, and starting a conversation with your friends and followers. So let's look at who's using these applications. Well, back-of-the-phone apps is largely a lot of the people in the room who are used to taking pictures with their phones or cameras. It's a very easy behavior and very normal, and it shares, like I said, a window into what you're looking at. The two classes of how a sociologist said that older people over the age of 25 view the internet as a destination to put content up, whereas younger people view it as an extension of their lives. So the important thing to note is that it's just a simple way to share how you're feeling with younger people. They've never grown up in a time where the internet didn't exist, so the way in which they share and their thought process is fundamentally different than the older generation. And let's look at the content that comes out of the applications. Back-of-the-phone apps have objects, I would say. Their scenery, their teacups, their shoes, or puppies. Front-of-the-phone applications are faces. Now, like I said, the demographic for this is under 24 or under 25. And Apple recognized the importance of this and face communication, which is why the iPod Touch as well has a front-facing camera, because that's the core audience who's purchasing these devices and using this functionality. And this is DailyBooth. Simply put, it's your life in pictures. But it's not only your life, it's the lives of your friends, your family, your coworker, and people you've yet to ever meet. I want to show off a quick example of how it works. This is John, and he wants to show off his new mug. He takes what our users call a booth. Much like in the early days of Twitter, where their early adopters referred to an update as a tweet, our users call it a booth. If you were to take two, it would be a double booth, and so on and so forth. So what happens next is a typical occurrence. People come in and leave photo responses back to John to show off their mug. Graham thinks it's look weird. Ryan wants to show off his mug. So this may seem like a simple, novel idea, but what I've noticed is that it's simple, trivial ideas like this that capture users' behaviors and spawn massive platforms as they alter the way in which people communicate online. So 5 minutes later, John comes back and wants to see what happened on the web. This is an example of a natural behavior on DailyBooth. You can see how easy it is to consume the content. Until you experience a photo comment, it's hard to really understand what it feels like or what it is. But I like to say it's somewhere between a text message and a phone call. It's simpler, it's as easy as a text message, but it conveys a lot more emotion. And it's simpler than a phone call, but although you don't hear the voice, you still see the expression of a user's face, which is just as powerful. And this is the way youth are preferring to start to communicate. This is another core component of the site called the live feed. This is a global, real-time view of every photo being taken on the site. It's mesmerizing to watch, it's addicting, and it's social entertainment. It also solves a big problem with meeting people online. It's discovery, and if you're interested in talking to somebody, they're just one click away and you can leave them a text or photo comment. Now, the thing about DailyBooth is that since it's a picture of your everyday life, it replicates real life in a way in which that's never really existed online. What I mean is, for the same reason our users watch this is for the same reason a lot of us go out to a bar, a park, or a cafe. It's to people watch, it's to interact with friends. The difference is this makes it easier. If I were to leave a text comment for somebody, it's like making eye contact in a cafe. Maybe they leave me a photo comment back, that's like a smile. And if they start following me, that's like an introduction. All of these signals on DailyBooth are implicit signals of interactions that occur in the real world, but just in a two-dimensional world through pictures. Those were the core components of the site, but what's unique is how the users have taken this platform and made it their own, just with this simple picture page concept. This is an example of what we call the DailyBooth Film Club. Every Sunday night, users get together and they push play simultaneously to watch a movie. There was over 1,000 comments on this thread, and what happened next is they reenacted this dance scene. Until you experience, it's hard to see, but these photos appeared in real time on your feed as people all over the world were dancing together in their living rooms. This is a type of interaction that's never existed before. It's also a platform for social movements. In April of this year, our users raised their hands and scribbled "End Malaria" on their palms to raise awareness for a cause. We had over 10% of the community participate in this. This campaign became the face of the social movement that ultimately led to a $200 million donation from the World Bank to fund this cause. It's other things too. It's social gaming. Instead of just seeing a text-based avatar and a username or a flash icon, you can actually see your friends and interact with them in real time and see their pictures. Again, anywhere they are, real-time interaction. And for Halloween, we did something else. We asked our users to hashtag their photos trick or treat. And what you see here is a collage from our users where there was 10,000 participants that uploaded their photos to share what they were wearing on Halloween. The live feed that night was interesting. Even though not everybody tagged a picture, as I was watching it on Saturday night, half of the live feed pictures coming in were just people in their costumes. It was really amazing to see. It replicates the real world interaction. This is a great opportunity for brands to interact with events-based sponsorships as well. And we're currently working with Gatorade for a 2000 marketing campaign to show our users and why they're athletes. I'd like to summarize DailyBooth as being a platform for self-expression, communication, and we're pioneering a new type of communication through photos. My name is Brian Pokorny. You can look at my life in pictures at DailyBooth/BrianP. And if you're interested in talking to me more, feel free to send me an email. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you very much.